Welcome back, Yackers, to another wonderful semester of Yak Back. I'm your host, temporarily, Christine Swalia, and we have a lovely show planned for you guys. First, we're going to be talking about how UMass hates straws. Then we're going to be talking about this gambler who just had to gamble. And then we're going to be talking about all of these crazy immigration laws. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our first segment. Today we're talking about UMass's new straw policy implemented this semester. I have some lovely guests with us. We have Kate, Molly, and Robbie here to talk about it. So, Kate, what is this new policy that UMass has implemented?
I think it started last year in just Blue Wall when they, got rid of straws for ordinary. If you're sitting and eating a Blue Wall, you can't get a straw. They don't want you to take straws. And now it sounds like they've expanded that, which is frustrating.
Yeah, so UMass hates straws. Robbie, would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I don't get it, for starters. I guess it'll save the planet one straw at a time. But I'm a huge straw guy, like not particularly just like it facilitates my drinking. I just think that I'm the big biter. So no matter what straw, I'll always bite off the little top of it and keep it in my mouth for the rest of the day. And it just and the green UMass straws were the best for that. They were just like the best. They were easy to come off, but they still held their figure in your mouth throughout the day. So I'm a little upset overall.
Interesting. I feel that. Molly, do you have more to add?
What do you mean?
I'm on the other end of that spectrum where, number one, it doesn't fuel my drinking, Robbie. You have a problem. But I didn't even notice. that they got rid of the straws. So I'm on the other end of the spectrum where some people are kind of up in arms about it. And they're like, you can't save the environment one straw at a time. What is this? Versus I have just been going about my life in such a way that I haven't even noticed. However, I have noticed that the dining hall Burke got rid of the baskets of napkins on each table, and they have dispensers now. So people, I guess, are less implored to use napkins and overuse them.
I get that one. I understand that one because those napkins did get wasted. Just coming from a lazy point of view, it's annoying to get up and go to the dispenser and it's another trip in Burke. It adds another route.
Yeah.
And there's enough routes in Burke.
Oh,
you have to get your drinks, utensils. You might have to just wait in the grilled cheese line, and then you have to remember. Oh, napkins. No, it was such a what's the word? Not a casualty.
Convenience.
Yes, a convenience to have them on the table. And now it's gone.
Yeah,
It makes sense the same way as they got rid of trays and gave everyone ceramic plates, which is, nice for one thing, but also, encourages you to take less food because you have to, get up to get more.
Yeah, you have multiple plates, which is also a hassle.
And they
bring back the trays.
Never underestimated college students' laziness.
Yeah, the thing that I don't understand is that the straws are compostable. So what makes the straws different from any other Blue Wall compostable article?
Yeah.
Why are they hating on the straws? Why not
I'm
the
very
to-go
bad.
containers?
I'm bad.
They tried to get rid of the to-go containers in Harvest, actually. They're trying to phase them out and encourage you to take the plates, like ceramic plates and real silverware, and turn them back in, at the Blue Wall. And it doesn't seem to be going well because everyone who goes to Harvest doesn't sit down and eat them. They get the to-go containers because they're heading off somewhere.
Yeah, it's a grab and go type.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the point.
So what do you do if you don't so without a straw and you have a to-go cup? What kind of lid do you have?
Well,
How do you drink
is they're not even really phasing out the straws because just when you get a to-go cup at the register, they give you the cup, the lid, and the straw, but only at the register. So you can't get them over by the drink fountain.
Yeah.
So like if you
Oh, that
happen to
makes
be getting
sense.
a cup that stays at Blue Wall, which like whoever does that.
So it's the same like train of thought as the Burke situation.
Yeah, same thing.
Where
It's just
you
more of a hassle.
Yeah, where you have to go out of your way to get it so that it prevents people from just like abusing the straw
Power.
The straw power.
I don't know. All these small little things in the
Yeah.
world.
But you think they could do bigger things? Like, I know the Divest campaign has been going on for ages and ages. If you really want to stop, pollution, stop, use of fossil fuels, stop, landfills, divesting is a much more significant impact. But
Maybe
it's
this
more
is a
difficult.
step
Like,
towards it.
hopefully.
It's a small battle and it's less politicized, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though we are talking about it right now.
It was actually proposed, I think, by the SGA too. It wasn't even a UMass dining initiative. So it was
Can we talk
proposed by
about
the people you
Whitmore?
elected.
Can we talk about Whitmore?
We elected.
Yeah.
Whitmore's gone.
What?
What do you mean?
No, it's not.
There's no more wraps in Whitmore.
You're lying.
Swear to God.
No, you're not.
It's emptied out. There's
Are you
no
serious?
more wraps in Whitmore.
What?
Do you know? Have you
Breaking
guys had
news.
chicken wraps from Whitmore?
Okay, yeah. Whoa. Is all of Whitmore Cafe gone or just the wraps?
Everything. Out.
I have never once been to the Whitmore Cafe.
What?
It's like
Ugh.
easy, quick, easy,
Yeah.
great. And now like you have to go to Newman Center. And Newman Center is so slow and takes so long. And it happened overnight, really.
You're blowing my mind. Whitmore Cafe is just gone.
Yeah, and I heard a rumor out about it last semester. I was like, oh, it's just a rumor. It's true. It came
Wow.
to fruition.
Wow. That was my favorite hangover.
Well, clearly
place.
not because you didn't even know it was gone.
Well, now I only have 2 classes, so I'm like.
Oh,
rarely
right.
on
Well, yeah, you
campus.
mentioned
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Yeah, it's, senior year of spring is kind of scary. Like, it's like I'm not passionate about any class I'm in.
Nothing.
And I was so passionate last semester. I loved all my classes. Now I'm like, here I am, just waiting. It's a waiting game.
2
Okay.
classes to graduate.
And you could sign up for
Peace
something
out.
fun,
Yeah,
pass
I do.
the time.
I want to sign up for scuba diving
Yeah, that sounds really
Yeah.
cool.
and be certified.
Apparently, they make you do like 18 laps the first day.
That's okay.
I mean, they need to make sure you can swim in the ocean.
I'm sure you could if you put your mind to it.
I think something that has been bothering me that I've thought about as Robbie kind of brought it up is just kind of the courtesies that you follow when you're in a dining hall and how there's some unspoken rules.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like when someone drops a plate, you
and
clap.
then people
Yeah,
clap.
you clap.
You clap.
And there's just
I don't think
and
that's a
then-
courtesy thing.
Two
Okay.
cups to the. You fill up 2 cups with whatever drink you're drinking, so you don't have to go back up.
Yeah.
I'm a huge offender of that. I always
Yeah.
do.
2 cups, and then just the reasoning of like when you have to return your dishes, how do you do it? How do you go about it?
Is there more than one way to go about it?
It's a little
stacking.
scary in Burke because it's like the carousel goes around. And you
Yeah.
have to look for an open one, especially during those busy times. You don't want to like stack it too
Anxiety.
high.
Yeah.
You have to tilt the cups to put them in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I recently was told also that at all other DCs besides Burke, but they don't let you stack cups. I got yelled at Frank.
That's what
was
I
like,
do all the time.
What?
How do you
Why?
That's
carry
news
it?
to me.
How do you
yeah, you're not
carry it
supposed
otherwise?
to
Yeah.
stack cups.
Yeah.
They get annoyed with you when you do that.
Well,
I eat at Frank
you
most
know,
of the time. and
UMass
that's-
dining needs to be a little
There's
bit.
also a best
For number
sandwich
one,
line,
they
too.
need to be a little
You
bit
get
more
sandwiches
user
during the
friendly.
day.
But that's all
You
the
know what
time we
time
have to talk
I
about
don't
this.
think you do.
So, UMass Dining, take some notes. But thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next segment. Welcome back to another segment of Yak Back. Today we are talking about a gambler who just, couldn't stop gambling even when he ran out of money. Today I have Bernsey, aka Mike, Kate, and Robbie to talk about it with me. What happened was this gambler who was really hardcore, gambling real hard, blackjack table, I believe, and he ran out of money, threw a little card down, went out, robbed the bank real quick, and came back. Robbie, what do you think about this?
Well, I think like it's not smart. Like the fact that he was so confident in his ability to rob this bank, he put a chip down that saved his place at the table. There must be a time limit on that chip. You know what I mean? You can't save your place the whole night. So he put a chip down, robbed the bank, and came back. And in my mind, it must have been 20 minutes. That's crazy. And they didn't even catch him at first. They caught him later in the day. So he was able to keep gambling with his money. And you know what? But then on the other hand, he clearly isn't a great gambler if he lost all his money and had to go steal a bank. So I don't know where I stand with this guy. Is he genius or is he just dumb?
Other side to the story also, he was apparently on drugs. He was like, I was on drugs, so I guess I remember that. That's what he told the authorities.
Yeah, drugs go without
So,
saying in this
you know,
case.
Well, that is how I imagine he came up with the plan in the first place.
Yeah.
Not the kind of plan you tend to come up with while sober.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
and I think he didn't remember it either. So he didn't remember that he committed the crime, but then they had a video of him and they showed it to him in court and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's me."
I think he's a star. He's
I
like
agree.
he's so he has pride in what he does. You know,
okay.
whether it be good or bad, he's confident in himself, and you know, he has nerve.
Well, the drugs gave him that nerve, though.
You're right. So maybe he's not as great. See, I'm very perplexed on this gentleman.
I want to know how he was able to rob a bank so easily.
Apparently,
just
he,
able to
he
go
gave a
out
note to the teller that he had a bomb, but I don't think he actually had a bomb. But they believed him, and then he got $5,000.
Are banks just easy to rob?
I
They
feel
can't
like banks
be.
are really easy to rob. I feel like the policy is just like
Give them the
if,
money.
if there's a note, don't worry about it, teller. Just give them the money.
Hit the button underneath.
Hit the button, give them the money.
Is the button
and,
real or is
let
that
it
just
go.
movies?
No, I think that's real.
I mean, if banks are this easy to rob, I hope it's real.
Yeah, and then you
I
hear
feel
the
like everyone
sirens.
gets caught though because they always have those tracers or the blue exploding
I
paint.
feel like in this day and age, how can you commit a crime and not get caught? With everything, with all the technology we have, and how can you get away with anything? I feel like if people want you to get caught, you're gonna get caught.
It was impossible, probably. Back in the old days, you could probably just rob a bank.
Yeah.
Right.
Go to
Right.
Mexico.
Back
or
in the old
something.
days, they were like,
Yeah, go to Mexico
yo,
now,
my
like,
name's
oh.
Christine, I'm robbing this bank,
They're like,
catch me later.
They're like, darn it, again. You know, here you go, Christine.
Yeah,
Oh, Christine,
Yeah.
she's always doing this.
Security cameras and marked bills and
Yeah.
everything.
One day they'll be tracking in the money. Maybe there is.
I believe it. Microchips can get real small.
I want to start writing my initials on every single dollar I get and see where it goes and if it comes back to me one day.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
When I was a kid, there was this thing called, Where's George, where they're
yeah.
the dollar bills
Oh,
with
and
the
you can
stamp on
track
them.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It was-
You know
it
what I
was
would do
interesting.
once? I used to work at a wrapping paper factory, and we would ship wrapping paper to different, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, all that
When
stuff.
did you work at a wrapping paper
For
factory?
3 summers. It was really fun. And I would write little notes in the wrapping paper, and you know how there's a little circle in the hole? I would shove the notes in there, so then when they were done with the roll, they would get a nice note. Wasn't that nice?
That's interesting. What would you write?
I was like, have a great day, or stay beautiful, stuff like that.
Okay, that's cute.
Positivity.
Yeah. So when they would open the roll, it would roll out the note, and they'd be like, wow. But I feel like I could have gotten fired for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it was never nasty notes. That'd be terrible.
Also, who's going to ever report, a nice note in the middle of their wrapping paper?
What if it creeped people out? That could be.
Well, if you left your phone number too, though.
Yeah. It's like a message in a
Call me
bottle, but a
later.
message in a wrapping paper roll.
Help, I'm trapped in a wrapping paper factory.
Help. Yeah, those were the days. Anyways, back to the bank robbery.
Right.
Yeah, so in this bank robbery, Bernsey, if you were in this case where you were running out of money, what is the way that you procure other money?
Well-
By illegal means.
I just want to throw this out there. Our very own director, Perry, we can get a picture of her on screen, will be in Vegas this summer. Probably she has an internship there, so we have to make sure she avoids this type of thing.
That's true.
Perry, don't rob a bank.
Be responsible. Make
Be a
good
stripper.
decisions.
Be a
I
stripper.
say you
There
go
you
all
go.
out, Perry.
Yeah.
I say you do anything and everything.
Ask your parents for money. Yeah. Those all, or be a stripper. Those are
Ooh.
all.
I
Well,
actually do
if
have
you're
a friend who's competing in the major, what is it, blackjack tournament. His dad bankrolled him 10 G's to go play in it. He's a really good gambler. He plays online poker all the time.
So you think?
Yeah, but blackjack's really easy to lose at.
You think he'll win it back?
So
I think he'll win it back.
my question is, whose dad is just like dishing out $10,000?
I think he's pretty rich.
Is this
to begin with.
Barron Trump?
I'm like not a great gambler, but I
Parent
love
Trump, 12
gambling.
years old, like.
You know,
Like playing cards is fun, but
I
I've
love
never, like,
games.
like done gambling for money because I would.
I'm more of a
definitely lose
fan
it.
of like gambling when it's like something you can win at. Like not a card game, but like if they're like, yo, will you lick that frozen pole for $10? I'm like, hell
Heck
yeah,
yeah,
I will.
I went to- I've
That's
been to
not
casino
really
twice.
gambling. That's taking a dare. That's
And
different.
and
still
I
gambling.
hit blackjack once, and like I only bet like I don't know, a little amount of money because like I don't have much to throw out there. And I got a chip. It was pink and it said $250 on it, and I was like, I just won $250. It was $2.50. It was so sad. I went to go cash it in. I got it from the table, walked so confidently to like the cash register or whatever, and she handed me back $2.50. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, it's gonna be a fun night now, but no. But it was still a good time. Gambling's fun. Casinos are fun.
Casinos are fun. And there's lots of free alcohol, which is why that guy probably was a little loaded.
Yeah, what do they
Like,
expect?
drugs, alcohol, and he was just like, I'm just gonna rob a bank. I don't
So-
have any money. Why not?
All right, so if you're, a drunk guy surrounded by a whole bunch of other drunk guys, why would you leave and rob a bank and not just sort of swipe some other drunk guy's chips while he's not looking?
So that would be your means. That would be your means of the money.
And your means.
I don't want to say.
Okay. Well, on that note, that's all the time we have. So, if you were gonna rob a bank, how would you do it? I don't know. Let's find out. But we're gonna be talking about other things on the next segment, so we won't find out. Catch you then. Welcome back to our last segment of this week's episode of Yak Back. We have a wonderful last segment. We're talking about the new immigration policies by Trump happening in the Middle East and impacting us on campus. Today to talk about it, we have Bernsey, Kate, and Nelson. So, Bernsey, what is the rundown of what's going on?
Yeah, so just the basics. So Trump has been doing a lot of executive orders. I think like he's on pace to do like the most executive orders for like if he keeps up this rate, he might not. But one of the biggest, most controversial executive order that most people know about was he banned travel from a lot of majority Muslim countries to this country. And there's just so much outrage. People feel it's like very anti-American, but there's some people that agree with it, so you have to sort of understand where they're coming from. But yeah, so basically that's the rundown. And there are some UMass students who are actually Muslim and they're not in the country right now, so that's also an issue.
Kate, how do you feel about the UMass exchange students who are from some of these countries that are impacted not being able to regain access to UMass or the United States? How do you feel?
I was reading a story about an Iranian grad student who was, home for break and is now like not able to come back to UMass, and it's awful. It's stupid, and like it's very obviously very petty and very thoughtless. Like the claim is that it's to, stop terrorism, but none of the countries named in the order have ever had people who've committed terrorism in the U.S. Like it's upsetting and it's stupid. Frankly, it's stupid. And
I agree. I think it's kind of just like you can't put an accusation on a whole country or a whole religion. Like that is very un-American, and also it just doesn't make sense. Like maybe someone who's related to someone who has ISIS, like yes, that's unfortunate even if you're not in ISIS, but like if you have any ties, like sure, why not? But like just for a religion or just for being in that country, it makes no sense. Nelson, being an international student yourself, how would you feel if something like that were to happen with China?
Yeah, when I first heard of this news, I don't really look at news because I don't have a TV, but I receive emails from UMass and from social paper science, which is my major. Like, they just say we can have everything to help you, and I've got my professor, like, he mentioned a lot, like, during each sections of lecture, and I don't feel very well because, like, they ban Muslim and also, like, some people, like, from the East, maybe. Yeah, but I'm just worrying because I'm from China. When he like, if he like ban Chinese people, like Chinese students or other countries like from Asian students to get into US, so where should I go?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about these things. Yeah.
I agree completely. I feel like Trump has been, he took the stance against the Middle East, but he very easily could just sign these executive orders for China, or more likely, I feel like I'm going to spring break in Cancun. Lots of people are going to Mexico for spring break. He's been real anti-Mexico lately. Like, what is going to happen? Can we party in Mexico? Real questions. Bernsey, what do you think?
Well, off of what Nelson said, he's really targeting Mexicans and Muslims as far as people. Yep. But Trump in general, I usually am not partisan. I don't try to like call out people. But what Trump is he doesn't accept diversity. So the Muslim ban is the biggest thing. But also with China, there's trade wars with China. He's talking about how China manipulates the economy, and he's against China. He's against Mexico. He's upsetting the whole peace of the world, and that's scary to all of us.
You got in that fight with Australia yesterday.
Yeah,
right, I mean, who gets in a fight with Australia?
What did Australia do?
Yeah.
They just give milk. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. If like they want to ban China, I don't know. Maybe I could just go back to my country, find a job. But I hope not, because I like UMass. I like USA. But like, he's always talking about the trade war, because I look at the news during the election, the trade stuff. He like, do you see the like Vine video? Like, he talks about China for a lot of times on YouTube, which is like, feels kind of annoying, but it's actually the truth. He is like, maybe he's sometimes targeting China. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm Chinese. Yeah.
And from the other side, I feel like we should be afraid, like, if we are putting all of these restrictions against other countries, what's gonna, like, I'm sure at some point another country is gonna start doing that to us. What happens when they start making us the ones who are banned? We have the travel ban. We have the embargo.
Iran's already talking about it.
Yeah. All of a sudden, oil prices are going to skyrocket. Just, common household appliances are going to skyrocket from China and, other Asian countries. And
like, tourism's going to tank.
None of us can go on spring break.
Right, it's spring break, it's products. I saw like the president of China, his name is
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. He seems
yes.
cool. I don't know him that well. But
You guys are best friends.
compared, I hung out with him last weekend. But compared to Trump, everyone seems really cool. But he said, when you engage in trade wars, nobody wins. And I just know that,
It's true.
like, we get all our products from China. We don't make anything here, so we rely, not all our products, but we rely on China and other countries for, like, everything we have. Like, all the clothes we're wearing, if you look, it wouldn't be USA. So it's, like, not good.
No. And look to what happened with Cuba. When we had the embargo against Cuba, it was basically devastating for that country. Yes, we were against their government leadership, but it destroyed all those people. They had no way of making money, anything like that. And I just feel like if something like that were to happen to us, if other countries were to band together and embargo the U.S., we'd be screwed. That's, straight up. Kate, what do you think?
I just think, like, I'm agreeing, and everyone seems to know this except for Trump, which is what's so frustrating and so scary, because, like, nobody would have supported this as a bill. Well, obviously a bunch of... The point is that, like, the people don't want this, but, the small group in the White House does, and that's what matters, and that's scary.
Yeah, I also think the one thing is that he's like too, I think, in my opinion, it's like too absolute. He just banned everyone, but like, what if like the professors in our campus, students in campus, if they are not allowed to get into US, they cannot come to UMass to study, which I think is not quite good for their academic. Yeah. If somebody just like doing business because they are banned, they can like, because they are like in business, they can contact a company to like wait for them to have a new, like wait for 90 days. After that, they can come into, but like during academic, like now it's spring academic year, so if you miss the class, it's kind of rough for them to catch up. I mean,
you know, overall, the international relations just between the U.S. and other countries is just slowly deteriorating, and it's, you know, just we'll have to wait and see what happens, and there's, you know, nothing.
Call your representatives.
Yeah,
tell them
call
how you
your
feel.
representatives, but other than that, it's, you know, not in our specific hands. But that's all we have for you guys today. This has been another great episode of Yak Back. Catch us next week. We'll see you then.